Boxing isn't just about knockouts and championship belts. Sometimes it is about legendary rivalries. Rivalries like that of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, Roberto Duran versus Ray Leonard, and even Big George Foreman and Larry Holmes brought both drama and excitement to the game. Stick with us as we take you through some of boxing's most legendary rivalries and how these historic events impacted the ever-exciting world of boxing. We begin with the Ali-Frazier trilogy. Considered to be one of the greatest rivalries in the history of boxing, the three-fight game that took place between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier did not only shape the history of heavyweight boxing, it also boosted the careers of Muhammad Ali, the fast-talking, bold heavyweight champion, and Joe Frazier, the hard-hitting, unwavering former champion. In their first match, which took place in 1971, Ali lost for the first time in his career, while Frazier prevailed in a unanimous decision. But it was more than the dance in the ring that made this matchup famous. It was also famous for its social and political significance.
Left in the round. The referee, Tony Perez, backs off.
After the first match, a rematch was held in Super Fight 2, a non-title match that took place in 1974. Surprisingly, Ali turned the tables by defeating Frazier after 12 rounds. With both fighters tied at 1 win each, a third and final match, which was also known as the Thrilla in Manila, took place in 1975. This fight turned out to be one of the greatest matches in boxing history. After a thrilling struggle that lasted till the 14th round, Ali won the match. Surprisingly, Ali won because Frazier's team decided to withdraw, stating that their fighter was injured and would no longer be able to continue with the match. In the end, Ali and Frazier faced themselves 3 times, with each of these matches becoming a cultural event that went beyond just boxing. They also treated boxing fans to some of the best boxing ever witnessed. We got to see and appreciate the different approach of both fighters, Ali with his swiftness and skills versus Frazier's persistent pressure and punishing left hooks. The impact of this rivalry on the boxing community was immense, as we saw a captivating combination of talent, bravery, determination, and resilience. In the end, these two legendary fighters established the trilogy standard for all upcoming boxing rivalries. At number 2, Sugar and Fire, the Roberto Duran versus Ray Leonard showdowns. The Great Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran rivalry is no doubt among the most famous rivalries that the boxing community has been fortunate to witness. The story of these two legendary boxing superstars, who were well known for their different styles and personalities, will always have a lasting impact on the sport. When they fought each other in 3 historic bouts in the late 1970s and early 1980s, it was epic. The fierce Panamanian Duran was known for his raw strength and aggressive nature. Leonard, on the other hand, was a beloved American who was known for his extraordinary speed, excellent technique, and smart in-ring tactics. In the first fight, which is well known as the Brawl in Montreal and took place in June 1980, Duran prevailed over Leonard after an intense struggle. Amazingly, Leonard's technical skill was neutralized by Duran's constant pressure, which helped Duran win by a unanimous vote. But in the rematch, which took place 5 months later and featured the historic No Mas fight, the rivalry took an unexpected turn. In this round, Leonard changed his approach and frustrated Duran with his quickness and footwork. Surprisingly, Duran unexpectedly pulled out in the 8th round, telling the referee "no mas," meaning no more, giving Leonard the victory over Duran. In their last matchup, which took place in 1989, 8 years after their first face-off, Leonard emerged victorious in a unanimous decision following a 12-round fight. The passion, intensity, and tactical genius of the early battles turned this Leonard-Duran fight into a boxing legend, even though its end was a little disappointing. The matches between Leonard and Duran gave the world a glimpse of boxing's depth of strategy and the intensity of the sport. Their fights were a fascinating blend of physical skills, mental strength, and strategic thinking, attributes that define modern-day boxing. In addition to shaping their careers, this rivalry had a big impact on the methods and approaches used by boxers today. At number 3, the rivalry between Jack Britton and Ted Kid Lewis. It may sound very strange, but there are just a few things that have limited the rivalry between Lewis and Britton from being ranked higher. Without a doubt, Britton and Lewis are two of the greatest boxers of all time. They fought for 20 times between 1915 to 1921, making it a total of 224 rounds, with both fighters aiming for world titles. In New Orleans on April 24, 1916, Lewis was defeated by Britton for the title. On June 25, 1917, at Westwood Field in Dayton, Ohio, he retrieved it. On March 17, 1919, at Canton, Ohio, he lost the title again, this time for the last time.
Carpentier trying to use that great weight advantage.
In this bout, Britton stopped him in the 9th round with a knockout. Interestingly, Lewis finished his rivalry against Britton with 3 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. The fights between Lewis and Britton for the world title were remarkable, and their relationship has been described as one of the greatest rivalries in the whole of boxing history. At number 4, the rivalry between Henry Armstrong versus Baby Arizmendi. Basically, Alberto Arizmendi, also known as Alberto Baby Arizmendi, is one of the greatest Mexican fighters the boxing community has ever seen, although he can easily be tagged as an underestimated fighter. Undoubtedly, the highest point of his incredible career that featured fights against Tony Canzoneri, Chalky Wright, Lou Ambers, and Freddie Miller is his 3-fight run with the famous Triple Crown champion, Henry Armstrong, who is among the best fighters of all time.
135, he's wearing black trunks.
These bold and aggressive fighters, well known for their all-action techniques, locked horns against each other 5 times. The first 2 took place in Mexico City at featherweight, and the final 3 took place in Los Angeles. When Armstrong put up more weight, Arizmendi confronted Henry in their final match for the welterweight title. Despite suffering a right wrist injury in the 2nd round of their first encounter, Baby Arizmendi's victory over Henry Armstrong, also called Hammer and Hank, was the greatest victory of his career. The next 3 battles were filled with multiple close toe-to-toe exchanges, but the great Armstrong succeeded in imposing his will and won by a wide margin. Number 5, Big George versus the Easton Assassin, George Foreman and Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes and George Foreman are known not only for their distinct successes, but also for their interesting rivalry. These 2 heavyweights, who are also called the Easton Assassin and Big George, are the reason why many boxing fans started following boxing in the first place. Their unique looks and personalities were infectious. Many fans enjoyed their rivalry.
Tonight, Gotham's relying on one man to save us all.
From Easton, Larry Holmes was always known for his remarkable jab, technical skill, and persistence. His strong left jab and straight right were what made his style unique. Holmes won multiple fights because of his calculated boxing style, which centered on using his jab to gradually wear down opponents before throwing powerful punches. Throughout his career, Holmes hardly ever hit the canvas, demonstrating his equally legendary resilience, precision. On the other hand, George Foreman, who was also referred to as Big George, stood out for his huge stature, unmatched strength, and aggressive style. Because of his immense strength, Foreman was able to take opponents hard from any angle. In order to defend against his body shots, boxers often cross their arms in front of their bodies, a move called the cross-arm defense. Much to the disappointment of the boxing community, despite their hatred for one another, these 2 kings of boxing never confronted each other in the ring. In 1977, when Holmes was becoming more popular, Foreman retired. Even though Foreman entered the ring again in 1987, their fight never happened. Despite never going against each other in the ring, the rivalry between the 2 legendary boxers did have a big impact on the history of the sport. With their unique looks, incredible abilities, and aggressive drive, Holmes and Foreman both made a lasting impression on boxing. In conclusion, these great rivalries changed the face of boxing. Thanks to them, many picked interest in the sport, even as they gave fans the excitement and even the anxiety that makes the game beautiful. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments section which history rivalry intrigued you the most. Don't also forget to like our videos and subscribe to our channel. See you in our next videos. Bye.